Hello, my name is Doreen Ellen Beldotan from Tzfat in Israel. And with great anticipation, I came to YouTube land to see what people were going to say about the immense changes that are going on in the world. And I expected that people were going to be overwhelmed by the sheer immensity of the changes and see wonderful promise in it. And I thought that I was going to find like a lot of joy and happy anticipation. And I get to video land, and I start to see videos like people noticing that there are changes, for instance, in the stars, of which there are, and whether or not the changes are objectively or subjectively in the stars really doesn't matter, because what is important is that we are perceiving it. And I thought that people were going to go, wow, this is so exciting, look at this, like Venus is, so bright. And no, that's not what I found. I found videos where it was like, there's a Death Star coming, and it's going to destroy the whole planet, and we're all done. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? And then I found these videos about the Mandela effect, and people were starting to notice that there were changes in the world, but the kinds of changes that they were noticing were things like, the name of my favorite chocolate bar used to have a hyphen in the name, and now it doesn't anymore. What gives here, And I just know it's CERN, because that place is the devil's workshop. And they're trying to psych us out by creating other realities. And they're trying to open up the pits of hell, And these people can't be serious. And I was terribly dismayed, and I try to leave, some comments on people's videos, and I don't think they understood me. So, on the hopes that they're going to understand me now, I'm going to make a video and try to make some things clear. My mother, may she rest in peace, always used to say to me, the only thing that remains constant is changes. That's an observation that everybody observes, but it took me decades to be able to understand the real meaning of that, the real significance of that, which I'm going to share, please God, herein with you. Our world is indeed characterized by continuous change. And lately the changes have become overwhelming. There are changes in the climate, there are changes in the way the astronomical bodies are interacting with us, geopolitical changes of unprecedented magnitude. And I'd like to explain what change is, so that we will understand this better, because I see that people that are having the most trouble with these changes are the Christians, and I want to explain that what this means. It is not that we are going to see cataclysmic changes before Mashiach comes. That's a bad translation. The word lifnei in Hebrew, which is translated as before, doesn't mean before in time, it means before you. In other words, presenting itself to you continuously. And as Mashiach comes closer and closer and closer, and it's the magnitude of the arriving subjectively keeps growing, we see bigger and bigger changes. Change itself is the coming of Mashiach. Mashiach is not a one-time event, zvang, and Mashiach is always coming. In Hebrew, the word ba, which means came and come, are exactly the same. They're even punctuated the same. It's not just the same letters, it's the same punctuation. Mashiach is always coming to you, lifanecha, presenting himself, itself, to you. I'm going to show you a proof that the word shinui, which means change, is numerically equal to the phrase Mashiach ba, which means Mashiach is coming, present continuous, and Mashiach came de facto. Okay, I'm going to show it to the people who read Hebrew in Hebrew. Okay, Mashiach is equal to 363. Ba is equal to 3. Together they are 366. What do you think about that? Which is equal to shinui. The word shinui is only spelled with a yud at the end. It's not Shein Yud Nun Vav Yud, it's Shein Nun Vav Yud with the chirik chaser. This is the correct way to spell shinui, which means change. Any change that we see, any change we see, for the good, for the bad, if it's a small change, if it's a big change, means that Mashiach is presenting itself to us. Now, here's kind of the bugger, which I see the Christians especially are having trouble dealing with. There's a word that's very much like Mashiach in Hebrew, which is mashchit. It's the same word as Mashiach with another tav, which actually puts it in the feminine form. It means the destroyer. HaMashiach and HaMashchit, they're kind of like twinsies. One does not come without the other, I'm afraid. You can't have one without the other. If you're going to have Mashiach, you're going to have the Mashchit. Everything depends upon our attitude, how we accept things, whether or not we accept things with joy, or whether we accept things with fear and with trepidation. That is the only difference. Whether we are accepting Mashiach or the Mashchit is only a matter of our reception. Are we being good hosts or not? Are we receiving Mashiach with a smile or with a frown? I have seen people looking for horrors, looking for things to scare themselves, looking for things that are negative. When we look for something actively, we are giving the creation a directive that is what we are anticipating. That's what we want. And the creation, being a humble and ready servant, is going to dish up to you just as much as you want and more. So if you go looking for ugly things, if you go looking for frightening things, if you go looking for reasons to crap your pants, you're going to get it in spades, bushels and pecks full of it. Why do that to yourself? Go looking for the good things, and they will present themselves to you. One of the things that is disturbing people the most is that they are seeing changes in their Bible. And I want to talk about that now. And please, discussion does not begin and end with, "Lady, you're really crazy." I may be really crazy, but that is not how to debate. Among the changes that we are seeing that are the most profound are changes in all codes, in all written material, in everything that can be read. And that includes what in this generation is called DNA. Our DNA is being reinterpreted very, very fast and very, very deep. And that is also causing changes in all of the written material. These are things that I cannot explain exactly why it's happening, but trust me that it's okay. We are going to see changes in written material. And this should not be cause for alarm. There have been things that were written incorrectly or in incorrect translation for a number of different reasons. I can't explain it until you go real deep into learning Torah in Hebrew. This is not for an English discussion. But expect to see changes in written material. They are all being edited and revised. It is not CERN that is doing it. CERN exists because this is being done. Trust me when I tell you that these changes in codes are happening on an immeasurably higher level than CERN. And please do not be afraid. Accept change with a smile. Accept change with happy anticipation. Accept change the way you did when you were a child. Accept change with the heart of a child, with trust and with love and with ready anticipation and with the happiness of growing and the happiness of learning. It's all up to you. The changes are not going to stop. From this point on, they are only going to intensify. I promise you. So please be happy about it. Welcome Mashiach as Mashiach and not as the Mashchit. Welcome Mashiach as God presenting itself to you in physicality, in physical reality, as something you can really hug. You know, the spiritual worlds, those are the worlds of our memories and our imaginations. And although they are much more in flux and they're deeper sometimes than reality, they're not really real. You can't hold their hand and walk home with them. You can't give them a hug. You cannot sit down to a meal with them. You cannot talk to them. It's purely spiritual. It is the physical world that is the highest heaven and God's greatest accomplishment. Please accept it with joy. It's not going away. It's only going to intensify. So make sure that you're intensifying your joy and your positivity. Thank you for listening.